the problem that we were experiencing is sort of a threefold problem that I have two of the problems up here, and there's an additional piece, right? So we had some consultants come in, and the consultants come in, they do some analysis, they tell you can save a bunch of money. And one of the ways that we could save money, and this is true, right, is this: if it's cheaper for someone to self-serve in the IVR or via text versus speaking to a live agent, right? Agents are, they're great at what they do, but it's a labor intensive resource. We have both in-house and we use a third party. So you can imagine, right? Like if we could lower costs, it's a benefit to the company. Also, we have some outside consulting that also comes in and gives us like insight into our customer satisfaction, which is a very important part of being in business. And one of the things that they bring up is that the more digital services you offer, the higher your customer satisfaction is, right? So if we can sort of lower our phone call usage to the agents and improve our digital usage, right? Like we get to save money, we increase customer satisfaction. And then there's also the third part. I'm sorry, and I have two ones here, I apologize. But the third part is that I always get questions like, hey, what are customers calling about? and that has been a very tricky question until the data science team stepped in with a solution, and we'll talk a little bit more about that solution in a moment. Any questions?
So you mean when you get the phone calls, the management level higher than you want to know the big picture, like what are they tackling towards for the general people that are giving maybe hundreds of calls per day? Is that
yes
the difficult? Okay. And
or like, so that is true as well, right? But like we could be running a campaign, right? Like or there could be an issue, right? Like, so let's say in a hypothetical situation, we send out the wrong communication to the wrong group of customers. And so management wants to then know, like, how many of those customers who receive the incorrect communication are contacting us back, right? So in the past, right, like people would listen to calls, and if the average call is 8 minutes long, then someone can listen to 7 calls in an hour, and but they're not doing their day job as well, right? And then so we get about 6,000 to 10,000 calls a day, depending on the time of year and that seasonality. So someone, it used to infuriate me in the past. Like my boss would go, hey, I was listening to calls yesterday. And he listened to 30 calls, and he's like making business decisions off of 30 calls. And I'm like, Chris, we had 9,000 calls yesterday. Like your 30 is not representative of the 9,000, right? Like it's not a great process to, like sort of manage the business.